Every week there's a brand new AI tool. All of them do something different. It produces something new, it analyzes something new, it makes something work much quicker. But the reality is something feels off to me. The situation is quite obvious here that whilst all these new AI tools are coming out, all they're doing is allowing you to do something different in a different wrapper, but all using the same technology. That's what AI is at the moment. It is an amazing form of marketing, and it's enabling companies to be able to create unique user interfaces and experiences, just all wrapped around a different brand and a different look. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely got great use cases because it creates much more speed around how you can actually do previous mundane tasks. But the reality is all of this can be done by any basic AI. They're just creating a system that allows you to do it more quickly. So I can't deny that these AI systems and AI tools that are out on the market that you're paying for now are absolutely working. But something, as I said earlier, does feel off in the sense that it can't be that easy, right? Because what it's actually doing is it's allowing you to get your workflows faster and it's allowing you to get better productivity. But how you actually stress testing the accuracy and the validity of what these so-called AI experts or AI tools are doing? I mean, you're buying into it, right? You're seeing the marketing. It must work because it says so on the website. But have you actually looked at where the technology and how the AI LLM or how the model is built? Do you really understand how these tools are coming up with these answers? And I think the answer is probably no for most of you, because if I asked you to really define what AI is and how that workflow actually processes and how it comes up with answers, are you actually aware of how that works? And look, you don't necessarily need to know how the cake is baked in every situation, but you need to at least have some trust and, I guess, authority around the subject, because unless you know that it's actually accurate, then why would you use it to present something to your boss at work? Or why would you use it in a report? You've got to know what you're using and understand it. So I'm not saying avoid these tools. I'm just saying let that curiosity around the output and how good it can be actually also in turn give you that capability to actually learn what's behind the scenes here. So the missing question with all this is not, can this help me? But more importantly, it is, should I be using this here? We all know that AI tools can help you in every situation, but it's about having that judgment and, more importantly, that integrity in whatever the situation is. Should I be using this AI tool here? In extreme situations, we saw that case of, individuals were talking to ChatGPT about suicide, which is absolutely horrendous. And ChatGPT have now very quickly put in some sort of frameworks around that. The same as deep fakes around celebrities and pictures. It doesn't allow you to actually create a picture when you name the celebrity. But these are all filters that are put in place because individuals have found these errors and they've found these, let's call them, gaps in the system. So whilst these AI tools exist to be able to get used in many situations, you have to be really careful and really think about which use case should I actually use this AI in. Now, look, if you're literally just summarizing a quick email and rather than having to read through it all and you ask AI to summarize 5 or 6 key points, that's a smart way of using AI. But if you see an email from, let's say, the CEO of a company or a shareholder report, you want to probably look at that in a bit more detail around the commentary and the tone of it, because you will pick up some human, basic behavior in that, in the way that the words are written and the way that it's framed. But AI wouldn't do that. It would most likely just pick up the key points and you're not able to create that sort of judgment on what it actually means. And these are just two, extreme sort of cases of it. But I think you get the picture here. So to summarize on this point, it's that use as many AI tools as you want, but only use them in the right situation and think about what is that appropriate use case in each one that you have in front of you. So this brings me on to the point around integrity and humanity. I mean, so which type of cases should we really think about where we find that balance? I mean, let's think about you as an individual and as a human. Which parts of your life do you like to automate, or do you like to feel like this human experience? If you were putting your kids to bed at night and you're reading them a bedtime story, would it feel appropriate to you, or would you feel like you've got a real sense of satisfaction if you created a system or used a tool that read a story using AI? Or do you want to have that human connection and watch your child as you're talking to them and actually reading the story to them? What about another situation where you're asking a friend about if they are feeling better after having some sort of illness? I mean, would you be saying, AI, please tell me how to talk to my friend and how to really make sure that I say the right things? Perhaps you are, but is that going to really show your friend that it's you asking that question? Or will they potentially be able to see something's off? I mean, I saw a colleague of mine the other day send an email to me, and it was like a thank you email for a pitch we'd done at work. And immediately I text back saying, look, this is so well written, but did you use AI for this? And he actually came back and said, look, I actually wrote it, and then I asked AI to summarize it for me and put it into a much more structured way. The fact that I actually picked up on this instantly, even though it sounded really, really perfect and it was well written, well articulated, because I knew my colleague, I knew it wasn't him, that immediately made me felt that this is disingenuous. And did he really want to say that thank you and follow-up email to the client? Now, I know he did, but if I picked up on that, what would the client pick up on? So these innocent things that you think you're just using it for to really help you get ahead, as I said, don't not use it, but make sure that it's balanced with that human tone and really think about those situations that require absolute human presence to really hit home and be effective, that you just do not replace them there. Because that is our only moat that we have left now, is that when the real decisions matter, when you're really building those connections with people, and when they really want to feel that human emotion, you have to be there, you have to be present, you have to be able to deal with friction. You also have to be able to deal with conflict. You have to be able to deal with sitting not in your comfort zone the whole time. It's those experiences that create formidable bonds and real trust and integrity in any relationship. So let's think about some filters that you can take away with you to see how you can actually implement this in your day-to-day life. So the first question I would ask myself if I was using AI is, does this actually make me look more intelligent? And does this actually sound like me in terms of my answer? Or am I just using it purely for speed? The second one I would think about is by using AI in this situation going to remove something human that actually matters? I'm going to be thinking about that whole process of what this task I'm doing is and how it's going to impact the people that see the results of this task. And I'm going to think to myself, if I don't show up as a human here, will that have a positive or negative effect on the people that see the results? So the real skill here is not using more AI. I mean, you can use as many tools as you like. The real skill here is being able to have you as a filter between those copious amounts of AI tools on the market and when is actually the best use case to actually use them. So, think about it like, a pair of shoes. You're not going to wear a pair of road running shoes to run on dirt or run in snow. You pick the appropriate footwear for that situation. Do that. It doesn't mean you can't own a number of different pairs of trainers or different types of shoes. You've just got to know which shoes to use in each situation. That's the way to think about AI.